What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today, I'm going to be checking out a single strike Urshifu VMAX deck list from some tournament in Japan. And I'll be blunt with you all, I don't know how many people played in this thing, how many rounds it was. I believe it was some sort of weekend celebration release tournament with the new battle styles cards in Japan. They're called Single Strike Master, Rapid Strike Master. Regardless of the validity of this tournament, it's cool to see new decks, the new cards being used, things like that, what people in Japan are building out of them. So we're going to take a look at the deck list. I've built a list very similar to this for my early testing, and hopefully we'll get some gameplay out, but it's still really early to be doing battle styles testing. But I know you all want to see it, your board standard, so we're doing some battle styles content. Before we jump into the video, shout out to PotownStore.com, the best place for you to get PTCGO codes. Use code Celio for 5% off when Shining Fates and Battle Styles comes rolling out. Make sure you're going over there to get your codes for PTCGO. So like I said, we'll be looking at this single strike deck list today from Japan. I use hounews.com. It's spelled HOU-HOU news.com. I'll probably leave a link down below. I'll be doing a lot of these videos, so but yeah, if you don't know about Ho News or How News, I always say it a different way. Doesn't really matter. Good place to find Japanese deck lists though. So this is the list we'll be looking at, but let's go over some of the important cards and why I actually think single strike Urshifu is being horribly underrated in North America, at least from what I see just on social media and chatting with people. I think everybody really underestimated this Urshifu compared to the Rapid Strike Urshifu, and that's why I'm talking about this one specifically today. Also, shout out to my patron, Patrick Wall, who requested that I talk about the Urshifus and why I like each one over on patreon.com/Celio's Network. I'll be doing some spotlight videos about some of the cards requested to be reviewed over there on my Patreon. Patrick requested the Urshifu cards, and let's be real, I was going to cover them anyway, so shout out Patrick, a loyal patron of mine. Wanted to give him a shout out there, even though I was going to cover Urshifu anyway. So yeah, let's talk about single strike Urshifu VMAX. 330 HP fighting type VMAX Pokemon, so when this is knocked out, your opponent takes 3 prizes, has 2 attacks, beat down for 100. Might seem bad, but we'll get to why it's actually usable. And then Gmax 1 below for 3 fighting colorless. It does 270. Discard all energy from this Pokemon, and this attack's damage isn't affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is actually really strong. The 270 one-shots Pikarom and Raichu without weakness. One-shots Mewtwo and Mew tag team. It one-shots Eternatus VMAX because of weakness. And one-shots Zacian. It's 10 damage away from one-shotting an ADP. It even one-shots a Zamazenta and a Decidueye because it goes through all effects. So that's a really nice thing. Also, no green screen today. I was feeling lazy. Everybody gets to feel a little lazy. Today was my first day back to graduate classes and wanted to get a video in. So would it have only taken 20 seconds to hang the green screen back up? Yes, but let's get back to Urshifu. So Gmax 1 blow is actually incredibly strong because the single strike energy that comes out in this set counts as fighting or dark, and it adds 20 damage to your single strike Pokemon it's attached to. So let's say you have 2 of these on this Urshifu VMAX, you're doing 310. If you have 3 of them on there, you're doing 330. If you have 3 of them and a basic fighting energy and a martial arts dojo, if you're playing all that stuff, you're doing 340, right? Got my math right? Yeah, 340. Boom. You're even one-shotting an Eternatus with a weak discard energy on it. So the Gmax 1 blow can scale up based on your single strike energy you have attached. Now 4 energy is quite a lot to ask for, and with the speed of the current standard format, but did I just scroll past the most important card? Yeah. So Houndoom, of course, with the single strike Roar ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a single strike energy card and attach it to one of your single strike Pokemon, such as single strike Urshifu VMAX. Then shuffle your deck, put 2 damage counters on the Pokemon you attached energy to. So the tempo goal of this deck, the way to build this card is You go turn 1 attached to Urshifu, the V, of course. You could use laser focus, but those have to be basic fighting. You don't really want to play basic fighting if you don't have to, I don't think. So you attach 1 energy to this guy. You bench 2 Houndours. Pass. Next turn, you evolve, manually attach, evolve double Houndoom. I know, we have to get to those Pokemon. I know, it's okay, we're going to get there. So double Houndoom, and then use each of their abilities. Boom, 4 energy on single strike Urshifu VMAX. Minimum of 310 in that scenario, since you're attaching a minimum of 2 single strike energies. So minimum of 310 in that scenario, knocking out a whole bunch of stuff as early as turn 2. Then you do have to discard all energy from this Pokemon. I think this is a big thing everybody was missing. They really did cultivate a nice little archetype here. So we have Vitality Jar, which choose up to 2 single strike energy cards from your discard pile, reveal them, shuffle them into your deck. So let's say we just use this, right? We use GMAX 1 blow, boom, knockout. We have to discard all of our energy. Our opponent can't come back from us just knocking out the thing they were going to use next turn, because that's a lot. That's 270, 310 on turn 2. Pretty good. We did have to discard all of our energy, but next turn we could manually attach, use Vitality Jar to put 2 back in, attach those to Urshifu VMAX with Houndoom, and then we can use Beatdown, a minimum of 140 if we have 2 single strike energy on it at least. And that 140, it's fighting type, remember, so single Beatdown can knock out Crobat V, it can knock out the Dene. With those 2 single strike, it can still knock out Pika Rom, or it can knock out Raichu tag team, or it can just set up a 2-shot on a lot of things and get in some chip damage before it goes down, and maybe you have to bring in your next single strike Urshifu for the end game. But wait, there's more. Here is possibly the most important part that everybody was underestimating. The third attack on Urshifu. That's right, the third attack on Urshifu. The single strike scroll. It's just something you have to include in your deck, of course, but you attach it like a tool. And it reads that the single strike card this is attached to can use the attack. For 1 fighting energy, Fury. 10 plus 10 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So you used the single strike Houndoom, you slapped some damage counters on it, and then your Urshifu got hit by something, and it's like ready to be knocked out. You put your single strike scroll on, you need 1 energy, and you're doing a whole ton of damage for just 1 energy. That's something that people were not really paying attention to, or undervaluing, I believe. Another thing is, you might think, well, if you just attached all these things with Houndoom, aren't you just getting knocked out? Well, if you use Beatdown, there's a possibility you're using that Beatdown when you have stone energies attached. And even if this thing gets left out in the active, there's a chance that there's stone energy on it, even if you didn't get to attack that turn. But really the main point is, with Beatdown, you attach and then go double Houndoom and then swing with Beatdown for like a chip damage or a knockout on a 2-prizer, and you have stone energy to protect you a bit. But if directly after GMAX 1 blow, so let's say you have 4 damage counters on you, you're 290 HP, you pop something, they hit you back for, let's say, 230, right? And you already had that 40 on you from the 2 Houndooms, so now you're at 270. You can just manually attach 1 and then the single strike scroll and do 280, just like that. Let's say you want to buff up the damage and you want to damage yourself, just use 2 more Houndooms. Vitality Jar, 2 more Houndooms, that's 4 more damage counters on your Pokemon, so you're doing more damage with the Fury now. I think this has a lot more potential than people thought. So now let's take it the list now that we've looked at the core cards. So this list is looking like it's built for consistency. It doesn't really have a lot of bells and whistles, as you can probably tell. I did say I changed some things. I have a proxy deck over here somewhere that we'll be going over on the channel, hopefully fairly soon. This is the Rapid Strike one. I don't know my exact changes, but like I said, we'll be going over it because I don't know what my exact changes will be at the time of that video because I'm still tinkering with the decks. I've played a total of like 2 games with it so far. So I'm still working on these decks very early in the battle styles, like pre-release testing and content and whatnot. But don't worry, it's coming. So, I don't super duper love like the 4 research and Dedenne, because there's just so many evolution Pokemon, and you want to get like, you know, 2 to 3 Houndoom down. And you don't want to dump your Urshifu VMAX if it's in your opening hand. So I believe I am trying out a Kricketune V, which is in the new set. So it allows you to draw up to 3 cards once a turn. But if it's in the active, you can draw until you have 4 in your hand instead. So Kricketune V, I think it's a pretty good card. I've also had that in and out of the Rapid Strike Urshifu deck, so I'm having a bit of a fog remembering which one it's currently in right now, but it might be in both. This deck, its original deck list is playing Air Balloon. Now, a couple things I want to note. It's playing 4 Vitality Jar. I built a deck on my own without seeing this list first, and I put 2 Vitality Jar in, and I immediately realized that was a mistake. If you're dumping cards with Research, if you're dumping cards with the Dene, I mean, heck, if you just need to find a Vitality Jar on your turn 3, sometimes you need to find that Vitality Jar. Like, that is a crucial card you need on turn 3, because you just dumped all of your energy off with the Urshifu VMAX Gmax 1 blow. So for Vitality Jar, I saw it in a Japanese list like maybe 5 days ago, before these lists came out. Like kind of just in draft lists people were making as well. I saw 4 Vitality Jar and I thought it was overkill, but it's really not. Maybe I'll go down to 3, but at the moment, I mean, 4 feels like it's just safe and consistent. So I think the 4 Vitality Jar is correct, and there's a lot of Pokemon search here. There's 4 Pokecom, 4 Quick Ball, and when you want to get all these evolutions out, I think that's good. I'm playing, I believe, 9 search instead of 8, and I think I have 4 Quick Ball, 3 Com, 2 evolution in Sense, because sometimes you just want to get that natural search Pokemon. You don't want to have to put a Pokemon back for it. The Single Strike Stadium allows you to discard any Single Strike card from your hand to draw 2. I should mention that. And so this is playing basic fighting. I was also incorrect on that earlier. I'm getting the Rapid Strike, Single Strike lists mixed up just a tiny bit. So since you are discarding this, it is playing basic fighting, but you can also play Stone for the turns where you use the first attack as well, or even Stone Energy for laser focus. So you attach like a Stone Fighting to take less damage from attacks, and you search out your 2, so then you can survive a hit from something after you search out your 2, and then you evolve and you use Fury or you use Gmax 1 blow, whatever it is you want to use. And then the Single Strike Scroll, I think I want to play 2 just because I feel like there's going to be a turn every game where it's useful. Other than that, cards I did consider, since Air Balloon fits nicely, I thought about the new Fion the new Manaphy, I'm sorry, from Shining Fates, that allows you to look at the top 6 and find a Pokemon. I thought that could be pretty cool, since this deck isn't like running Jirachis or anything that you need to get out of the active. You can just slap a balloon on that Manaphy and look at the top 6 for a Pokemon. Seems pretty good. It's almost like a free Great Ball every turn. And when you want to get multiple Houndoom down plus an Urshifu VMAX on turn 2, you really want to be seeing as much outs to seeing Pokemon as you can. I also like that Escape Rope has been released, so or reprinted, I should say, in this set. So I like, just like, if you're playing 3 Switch, I like throwing in the 3rd one as an Escape Rope, or you know, even just trying to fit in a 4th one in there and have that Escape Rope, because it's just a cheeky out. Like, when you can't boss, but just bringing up anything would be better than hitting the active. I like it as an out. The Jirachi GX, something a lot of people overlook. The ability removes Psychic weakness, not weakness from Psychic Pokemon. Urshifu VMAX is weak to Psychic, so Picaro's just going to keep the Mewtwo's in there and take it to Pound Town. But if you have Jirachi GX, you can stop that, at least while Jirachi GX is on the board. I think that's all I had to say about this deck for today, but I think this is being underrated. Urshifu VMAX Single Strike and Rapid Strike are very good. Today, of course, we covered the Single Strike Urshifu, which I think is more aggressive and less tactical. But with the Single Strike Scroll, I'm actually really excited to see where this deck goes. So I hope you enjoyed this deck profile and this little analysis on the Single Strike package that we are getting in Battle Styles and that Japan has already gotten in their forms of the set. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already for daily Pokemon TCG content. Be sure to leave a like and comment, and check out PotownStore.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.